a relaxed style group out of the mountains of North Carolina. And Bruce Warren of WXPN said this band has soothing harmonies and a hauntingly sweet spin on traditional music. We're going to find out how and why right now. Sarah Bradshaw down the hallway in Studio A with River Whyless live on the bridge.
Thank you, Byron, and welcome to another 909 session here this afternoon on the bridge. Sarah here with you, just filling in for John Hart. And we are joined by another band who is going to be playing tonight at Knuckleheads, opening for Sarah Watkins, River Whyless. Been looking forward to this. Thank you guys so much for coming and taking the time.
Thanks for having us.
So let me just introduce you guys first. So Ryan is going to be on guitar and vocals today and every time you guys play. Hallie is going to be on vocal and violin.
Hi.
And then we've got Alex on drums and different types of percussion back there. And then, of course, Dan on bass vocals, harmonium. You also do cello and banjo, but you've got the harmonium we see over there today.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so first of all, I just want to start off by saying thank you because I know you guys had a tight schedule. I know you rushed from Chicago, and I want our listeners to know bands don't have to do this. You guys don't get paid to do this, so thank you for making it happen.
No problem. It's our pleasure.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So you are out on tour. You're in support of your brand new album, We All the Light. It's your full studio sophomore album. And, speaking of which, I read a lot of different stuff, but the van kept coming up, the 15-passenger van. And at one point, Hallie, I think you said that there was no air conditioning system. I hope that doesn't include heat. Are you guys okay?
We
Do you guys have
once
heat?
had a van that was lacking in some of the better things that most cars have. But now we are in a van with AC and heat.
And heat?
Which is why you see us here now, embarking on winter tours and such. We have heat. Sometimes we argue over where it should be, but we've got it. Feels good.
I was worried about you guys, so that makes me feel better. All right. So you were all friends from college. You went to Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina. So you're very much, though, you came together in the Asheville, North Carolina music scene in about 2011. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started recording a record in Asheville, our first record, A Stone, a Leaf, and Unfound Door. And that was kind of, Hallie and I had been playing music a little bit before that, but that was when we decided on a name and decided to kind of embark on this long journey of being musicians. And we had our first tour in 2011, and then Dan joined right away in the beginning of 2012 when we went to California for the first time. So maybe it was the second time, but regardless.
I was looking at a lot in regard to your musical upbringing, and there's a lot about you guys as a band, just kind of as a whole. And I didn't know if this was omitted purposefully. I mean, I know you guys, you tend to talk a little bit more in the interviews, and so I know, Ryan, you're from Maine, and Hallie, I know I found some about your musical upbringing, because we always wonder where our musicians come from. Like, what is it that puts them in the shoes that brought them to where they are now, today,
I
right?
wonder the very thing.
Well, the one that I found about you was that you were in a band with your mom.
Oh, how deep did you dig?
What was it called? Crazy Madre?
Crazy Madre was
really
my
good?
first official band that I had with my mother.
Was it awesome? Are there recordings?
There are some recordings out there that we've done around Christmas and stuff, hidden deep in my iTunes folders or something. But we played a few gigs locally in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and we still play music together when we get together. It's singing with a relative is special. There's something about it. There's something different in the two voices when they combine. But yeah, my first band was with Mom.
Crazy Madre.
And hopefully it will be my last. I don't know what that means, but I meant it in the sweetest way possible.
So, Ryan, what about you? I mean, musical upbringing as a child?
No, not really at all. Actually, I met Alex in college, and we call it my musical revolution. I listened to music when I was a kid, but and some old folk singers. My mom, played guitar, but it wasn't a huge part of my life until I got to college and started going down the rabbit hole with Alex in our dorm room our freshman year. And that was more or less when I started playing guitar. I played a couple chords before that, but he played the drums and wanted to play the drums with somebody, and so I just tried to play guitar to his drumming, and that was kind of the beginning.
He's back there laughing.
Pretty sloppy. It was. Well, Alex came from Atlanta and played a lot of real fast kind of pop punk stuff, and I was playing like Blowing in the Wind over the top of it, and it didn't necessarily work, but we kind of ping-ponged around until we are where we are today, I guess.
Didn't you guys like meet running track, which is not at all?
We did, yeah. We were both on
related?
the track team, and we realized pretty early on our first practice, and everybody ran off, and we were kind of hanging back a little bit, and they were talking about sports, and we were talking about music and art and things like that. So
Nice.
we kind of connected right there, and been roommates and good buddies ever since.
Awesome. And Dan, people keep saying it, though it's been like years now, newest member to the band.
Yeah, the newest member, that's me.
Okay. What was your musical upbringing like? Did you have a musical upbringing?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town in eastern North Carolina with not a whole lot to do, and when I was about 5, I was a big fan of Ninja Turtles, and I heard the theme
Definitely
song,
musical.
and,
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah, I guess there is that.
Yeah. And I asked my parents for a small guitar, and they got me one, and never did learn that theme song, but that's where I started, and then I just kind of kept going from there. So I've been doing it for a while, and kind of picked up some other instruments here and there, and then played in a few other bands, and then met these guys in college, and then hooked up in Asheville.
I was really excited to hear the Ninja Turtle theme on the harmonium. It just crashed my dreams, dude.
What's funny is Ryan loves that song too. They have a bonding
I love
thing
that
over
song.
that. Yeah.
We sing it when it's late night and it's
When the
getting
cameras
a little
are off.
debaucherous.
All right, well, that being said, we'd love to hear some music from you guys.
Okay. We're going to play a song called Life Crisis.
I'm holding back my tongue. Try not to let it show, but all your friends and family seem to notice. I hope it gets to you when you are ready. I am telling you all my thoughts as you empty out your pockets for the plane ticket that you lost. Be safe, you fool, in New York City. Be safe, you fool, in New York City. Oh, I will break you in. I've tried it before, and I'll try it again. But if this time you feel your strength is gone too thin, then I would lend you my skin. I'd lend you my Heard you rolling in the good times out west. Went to the desert to find your destiny and place. Did they set you straight in your life crisis? Did you see me floating there above your body like an angel suspended or an enemy I failed to recognize? Was I there that night? Did I haunt you? Was I there that night? Could I save you? Oh, I will break you in. I like the fight and you like to win. But if this time you feel my love has grown too thin, then I will lend you my
Well, that is a track called Life Crisis. It's from River Whyless' newest album, We All the Light. And if you're just now tuning in, we are joined by River Whyless live in the Bridge Studios as they prepare for their show tonight out at Knuckleheads, where they're going to be opening for Sarah Watkins. It's just going to be don't wait. Go to the whole show. It's going to be so good, as you can hopefully hear here. You know, there's something about this new album. Again, it's your sophomore release, and it's the first time that you guys have all taken on that songwriter role. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a good change.
So all 4 members, songwriters. I know Dan's taking more. I mean, so it's been a good change, though. That's the overall.
Everyone here has something to say, so why not make room for it? You know, and I think it's been a challenge, of course, but it's been a very productive one for us, and I think spiritually we get to make something that we all feel really confident about.
Well, and I think it also creates an even more, I don't know, I guess a diverse sound in a way, because, for instance, All Day, All Night, I read that was like several different songs. Like, is that true? Can you talk more about that?
Dan, you want
Yeah, that was like 2 songs, I think.
Okay.
Or like 2 parts of 2 different songs. And we were just in the band room kind of monkeying around, and Alex had this drum part that we were trying different verses over, and it just so happened that 2 verses from 2 different songs worked pretty well over it, and they were incomplete songs, and smashed them together, and that's what we got.
It works really well. And our listeners may be familiar with All Day, All Night as well. The other question that I had, and I was listening hard for it in the album, but you had talked one time about how you guys like to incorporate kind of like little secret sounds in your albums. Is that something that you did on this album? Like, where you use interesting noises? Are we allowed to talk about this? Is this like the FBI? Is this like your faces?
Depends what you mean by
like
secret, I
like a
guess.
Yeah,
CIA.
I think in the recording process, there's always strange discoveries that you end up kind of using in different ways, maybe ways that you didn't expect to use. And I know in the first record, there was a lot of strange experimenting with tons of weird noises. And in this one, basically when we get back to Asheville, when we come back from the studio and we're kind of going through all the different tracks and listening to stuff over and over, you kind of just have time to experiment, and you have things in your house that you wouldn't necessarily, think to use in a studio. So that's where certain ideas.
Can you define some of these? Because I'm sure people are like, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm trying to think of something on this record.
Well, there's plenty of secret sounds, I'm sure, that someone with a good pair of headphones might detect that we didn't even intend. But I think there's some talking and laughing and some conversations that's in the background of some of the songs, or one of the songs. And there's maybe a secret behind some of the sounds, in the sense that in the final track of the record, you hear a sort of a strange, how would you classify the pad that's beneath everything in the end of the song?
Oh, that was just us ringing church bells.
It was
like little cheap church bells.
Right, but we ran it through a tape machine and sort of contorted it a bit, and it had a very different sound that you wouldn't think of the church bells. So there are tricks or secrets like that behind pieces of the record. But yeah, Falling Sun's got some chatter.
Yeah.
We
had a really nice
indistinct
night in Oregon when we were recording that song. We had these friends over that were kind of adding percussion to the record, and violin and clarinet as well. And then at the end of the night, we just decided to do group vocals on probably 3 or 4 songs, and we were also just kind of chatting while we were doing it, and so we left a bunch of the chatter in there too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty relaxed atmosphere.
So no Cracker Barrel instruments this time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of Cracker Barrel instruments this time.
There's one on the drums, right? Well,
Church bells,
yeah.
actually.
The bells were the Cracker Barrel instrument.
How
and the
did
glockenspiel.
how did the Cracker Barrel instruments come about for our listeners?
That was
You have to ask Cracker
I don't want to rep them because they took them off the shelves. They don't sell them anymore, so I'm kind of bummed. I don't know. I wonder what they replaced them with. But my uncle likes to bring very interesting gifts to Christmas and Thanksgiving. He's always got some unique thing up his sleeve. It's a crazy magic he's like the magic uncle because he always provides a 12-man tent or a strange thing from Africa or bells from Cracker Barrel. So he showed up with all this, like a bag of tricks from Cracker Barrel, and the kids went nuts, and I went nuts, thinking I'm going to steal those. when all the kids are done playing with them at Thanksgiving, I'm going to take those into the band room. And they never left the band room, and I apologize to the Anderson family for that. but yeah, it's he brought them over, and if they still are out there in some Cracker Barrels, I suggest tinkering around.
And grabbing them up before they stop carrying them everywhere.
That's right.
This is important.
Christmas is coming.
So you should get paid from Cracker Barrel at this point.
I
This is
know.
all I got.
I know.
I feel like there's a time limit
We
where
are
if
not
you're talking long enough.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Sorry.
So the question, is that the same uncle that had the cousin that you wrote the song Blood Moon for?
Different uncle. I
Okay.
love my uncles.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a song on the record that was written about my cousin, which is my uncle's daughter that was born. It's called Blood Moon.
Beautiful track called Blood Moon. And again, that's on the album We All the Light from River Whyless, who are joining us in our Bridge studios. We'd love to get another album or track.
Okay.
We all deserve the welcome in my cabin anytime you like. I'm burning up all the spruce and pine. I know it's not the best at heating us. Well, I know I'm not the best at healing us, but we all deserve the light. We all deserve the light. We all deserve the light. Baby brother, why do you love me so sweet? We all deserve the light. Baby brother, why do you love me so sweet? We all deserve the light.
A beautiful multicultural sound of River Whyless joining us in the studio from Asheville, North Carolina, getting ready to take the stage tonight with Sarah Watkins out at Knuckleheads, touring on their brand new album, We All the Light, which I'm sure you'll be able to find at the merch table tonight.
Yep.
That's good. That was a beautiful song, and I want to get back to it. But I just first want to ask Alex, where does one get a mini gong? What's the technical term for that?
I don't know if you can hear me in this microphone. Yes, it is a mini gong. There's a really cool store in Asheville downtown called Skinny Beats. It's one of my favorite places to go because it's just full of amazing world percussion stuff. So they actually have gongs and, I don't know, all sorts of like djembes and African drums, and just, it's really a fun place. And so I couldn't afford the big gong that I wanted, which was like this big, nor could I fit it in the van.
Gongs are probably pretty expensive, I'm just saying.
I had to get one that was portable.
It's beautiful, and if you're curious at all, because this is radio, definitely go see these guys tonight. You'll see what I'm talking about out at Knuckleheads. And you alluded to it earlier, Ryan, when you were talking about the name of the band, and it does harken back to E.E. Cummings, and there are literary references all throughout your works. And so, is the band as a whole, are you guys just all literary? Is that one more than the other? Do you guys all bring that together?
Alex would probably be the most well-read in the band, though I think everybody enjoys
a good book.
a good book.
Right? Are you writing a novel, Alex? Are you done with the novel? Is that?
You really did your research.
I know.
Yes, I am, and someday, hopefully, I will finish it. But,
does it have a title? Is there a working title?
It does have a title, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh, okay. That's
it
completely understandable.
But thanks for asking.
No problem. All right. Going back to the song that you just played, it's a beautiful, beautiful track, Baby Brother, and We All Deserve the Light, and it's a reoccurring theme. You have a song actually titled that as well, on We All the Light, and then again that play on words in the title itself. Tell us, what does it all mean, man?
Well, it seems to be evolving, really, and maybe that's what it was supposed to do from the beginning. But the idea of the We All the Light, the title of the record, came from the lyric "We all deserve the light," which is, I had a brother that had he had depression and whatnot, and he told me one time that, as I was trying to understand what he was going through, he just said that he was kind of void of all color and all emotion. It wasn't even that it was like he was feeling super sad. It was just like an emptiness, didn't feel anything. And so we went, I was hanging out with him, and we were having a good night, and we were talking about that, and I came away from that with that kind of idea to write a song about that he, deserves to come out of this, and we all deserve this chance to move forward. And then as the band started working on the record, we were realizing that there was multiple songwriters, and so we were all feeling like, as a band, we were coming into our own in all of this 4-piece, very collaborative band, And then on top of that, it just kept on kind of evolving into this idea, and that is now felt political in a lot of ways, that we all do deserve the light, and we are all the light, and we all deserve the chances that they should all be fair, and anybody has anything to add? But something about like that.
Well, River
I'd like to
Whyless.
add that
Go ahead.
Ryan was speaking in the past tense there, but his brother's doing well, and he still has his brother.
Yeah,
Everything's
he's
good. Yeah, so don't worry about Ryan's brother.
He's got a great girlfriend now.
Okay, good. I can say that River Whyless definitely helps to bring us some of that light. You guys are amazing, and we look forward to seeing you tonight at Knuckleheads. We'd love to get one more track.
Thanks. Yeah.
We're gonna play a song called "All Day, All Night."
All day, all night, 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 all day, all
night from River Whyless, who are joining us at the bridge, getting ready for the show tonight out at Knuckleheads with Sarah Watkins. That was great, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Again, if you haven't yet heard enough good things, man, I'm telling you what, this is going to be such a good show tonight out at Knuckleheads. Thank you guys again. I know you rushed here, so we couldn't be the station that we are without you. So thanks for taking the time and thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, and thanks to Public Radio. We love you.
River Whyless on the bridge.